fastest motor car lap record at the outer circuit of Brooklands. It is now kept at Brooklands, where you can admire it close up. Built at Brooklands for John Cobb, and ultimately held the outer speed record there for the lap of 143 miles an hour. And of course, it has a wonderful Dunsfold history, because during the 1970s, the American company were running it up and down this very runway.
Okay, so these are that's 40 and 5. Would you like to take your purchases home? Cash by any chance? Be the first in town. Okay, so 40 and 5.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Badge in the bag.
Good stuff. And so I will hand over to you, Melvin, while I catch my breath. Never mind about Isla Singara, breathless at Dunsfold. Over to you.
Thanks, Brendan. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for the Breitlings. The pilots do a wonderful job, and the girls really do work hard. That is not an easy thing to do in all of that headwind. They keep in training for a long time. Now, while we're getting ready with the formation just lining up, I'm joined here by Keith Clifford. Keith is over with the Canadians, with the Canadian Lancaster. Keith, welcome to Dunsfold.
Thanks very much. It's a pleasure to be here, and all of us with the Canadian Warplane Heritage, we brought the Lancaster over to the UK. I just want to honestly tell you that we're having a great reception here, and the folks in the United Kingdom are making us feel so welcome. Well, all I can say is that our crews are trained to fly in all weathers.
That was very diplomatic. Now, one thing we should mention, this has cost an awful lot of money to do. You can support this. You have a merchandising stand.
Yes, we do. Our merchandise trailer is set up in the retail area. You'll be able to spot us. It's a great big trailer with the Lancaster decals on the side of it, and we have a whole range of merchandise you can buy, clothing, books, a number of different things.
Excellent, and I think very fittingly as we watch the DC-3 take off. What do you say your normal job is?
At the museum, I'm a flight engineer on our Dakota.
Oh, that'll be one of them then. Thanks very much, Keith.
You're welcome, and have a great show.
Thank you. Also joined by, very pleased to see to the west of us, off to the left, we can see the magnificent two Lancasters The Canadian Lancasters come all the way over, courtesy of the Canadian Warplane Heritage, and PA-474 from the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight with the 2 fighters. We are sincerely hoping that we get rather more than 2 4-ship flybys. We're hoping for something just a little bit more special.
Melvin, this is living history. Ladies and gentlemen, you are witness today here at Dunsfold to something very, very special. Cast your eyes out to the left.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you look to your left, we have the 2 Lancasters and the 2 fighters from the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight. You will be very pleased to hear that while these are flying past, all you're going to hear is the aeroplanes. Members of Bomber Command that were lost during World War II. It's also worth remembering that every single person that flew on the Allied side during World War II was a volunteer. Nobody was conscripted in, everyone volunteered for the job.
And I know you get fewer every year, ladies and gentlemen, but and I know some of you are out there, you veterans, this is especially for you, the sights and the sounds of yesteryear.
Started out of the original Avro Manchester design, which was flawed because the wingspan was limited by the Air Ministry to fit into standard hangars. It was also powered by 2 Rolls-Royce Vulture engines, which were very good at failing. Sadly, they didn't get the development they needed, and when one engine stopped, the other one was really only very good to get you to the scene of the crash. But looking in front of us now, we have the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight fighters. Leading is the Hawker Hurricane PZ-865, the last of the many, the last aircraft built on the Hurricane line, the last of some 14,000 built at Langley, and finished its operational life here at Dunsfold as it chased Reconnaissance Griffin engine Spitfire of the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight. With the cannon armament were used against ground targets very successfully for the war after they became more or less obsolescent on the front line. The wings were strengthened so they could also carry bombs, but the Spitfire was always hampered by a lack of range. Spitfires only had 85 gallons of fuel, and there was a saying that said there is no such thing. For aircraft such as this, the photo reconnaissance version, the wings were made fully wet, there was tanks all the way on the leading edge, and fuel was put everywhere into the aeroplane apart from the pilot's pockets. The Hurricane that you see in front of you is embarked in the colours of Southeast Asia Command, whereas I mentioned they did sterling work supporting the ground troops. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you look to your left, we have once again the Lancasters lining up to come over. And I will be passing the commentary over to 8 Rolls-Royce Merlins. I'm told it's 4 Rolls and 4 Packards.
Ladies and gentlemen, the day must go to these 2 wonderful aircraft who were lost on operations, and only 2 now in existence still flying, and they're here today at Dunsfold, Wings and Wheels. 125,000 aircrew served in Bomber Command during World War II. 73,700 became casualties, killed, wounded, shot down, or made POWs. Well, you can be certain. How certain? As certain as the night follows the day and the day follows the night. We shall remember. Famous for the Dambusters raid on the night of the famous test pilot was wont to barrel roll Lancasters when he was test flying them.
Incidentally, ladies and gentlemen, I've probably taken almost as many photographs as you have. People of over towards Godalming and getting a very good view of the Lancasters. The fighters are off to our left, they're going to be joining up. Incidentally, because you've enjoyed this so much, we're going to do it again tomorrow. So ladies and gentlemen, that was the Mynarski Memorial Lancaster, PA 474 from the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight. Please put your hands together extremely big time for all of the guys from Canada who have worked so hard to make this happen, and to the guys from the BBMF as well. We're getting appreciative nods, ladies and gentlemen, from the various members of the Flying Control Committee that the aircraft will be coming through for a final pass. Please go and support the guys who said the merchandise stand is over there in the training area. Go and spend some money, buy a Lancaster kit, buy a patch, buy a badge, buy something, but say thanks to these guys for bringing it over. So ladies and gentlemen, we are now waiting for our next formation, which is our D-Day